So last week, over 750 new laws went into effect in the state of Texas, and here are my top 8. Let's get it. Number 1, the Save Women's Sports Act. This will require college athletes to play sports matching their biological sex stated on their birth certificate. AKA, no more men dominating women. And listen, if you're a male and you want to go compete against females, go do a sport that's already co-ed, like equestrian. How do I know that? Because I've been to some equestrian events, and the men get to compete against the women. But don't come over here to a sport that is already, it's not co-ed, women only, and you as a man want to say, you know what? I was mediocre at best at swimming, but if I say I'm a woman and they allow me on the team, maybe I could dominate them. And guess what? It happened. And in Texas, I'm so proud to say that we are no longer allowing this. The fact that I saw women cheering for a man to come in their sport and dominate them was, I lost it. I couldn't understand what I was watching, to be honest with you. I'm like, women, how are you guys okay with this? I thought you guys were against the patriarchy. Oh, the patriarchy's so bad. But you're going to allow the patriarchy to come in your sport and dominate. And honestly, you're guys are saying, well, I guess a man could be a better woman than I can. That's what you're saying. And so for me, I'm just like, oh my gosh. So I'm so thankful that Texas has put their foot down and said, no, we're not doing this. Because guess what? When I have a daughter one day, Lord willing, I have a daughter one day, and a man tries to come and ball her up in basketball or volleyball or something like that, I'm putting my foot down. So I'm glad that I don't have to do that, because in Texas, the land of the free, we don't play that. Here's number 2. Progressive prosecutors. House Bill 17 allows the courts to remove district attorneys for official misconduct if they choose not to pursue certain types of crimes. So y'all see what's going on in LA, right? Y'all see these smash and grabs. Y'all see these people robbing people in broad daylight. Y'all see people going into restaurants, holding up the entire restaurant, taking everybody's watches in nice places like Beverly Hills. What is going on? Why is crime rampant? Oh, because you got these soft on crime, George Soros DAs that allow criminals to walk free. And a majority of the population does not commit crime, right? So it's a very few minority percentage of people committing these crimes over and over and over again. I kid you not, guys. I kid you not. I know somebody, and I'm sad to say it's not even funny, but I know somebody who got arrested 3 times in one day in California. 3 times. How is that possible? Like after the first time he committed the crime, y'all just let him loose? Let him loose? Yeah, no, because he didn't steal over $1,000. You guys keep these California policies out of Texas, please. I fled California partially because I wanted to live in a better environment, a safer environment. But George Soros is smart. He started funding these DAs in Dallas, in Austin, in San Antonio. Guess what? I'm seeing the same things happen out here. So I'm glad we have this bill, HB 17, to remove these rogue DAs. And shout out to Ron DeSantis, man. I know you led the charge on this, man. But yes, we have it in effect, and it is going down. Let's get to the next one. Number 3. This one may be my favorite, personal favorite. The end of child mutilation, aka gender-affirming care. That's what they like to call it. But have you ever Googled a phalloplasty? Do that. Google image that right now. If you are for gender-affirming care, do me this one favor. Just go to Google image and look at what this surgery entails. Please. Please. So SB 14 bans transition-related care for transgender minors. This includes medication and surgery. So, like I said, for the surgery thing, go Google phalloplasty. Google the other one, double mastectomy, vaginoplasty. Go Google image these things and go look at what people are telling kids that it's okay to do. Now, listen, I'm not against people saying they want to be whatever this and that, right? Like, if that's what they want to say, go ahead, but don't give them a life altering decision like this to make. Let their brains form a little more. Let them grow up a little. How do you know this kid, this child actually has gender dysphoria? How do you know this wasn't indoctrinated to the kid at a young age from a teacher, from a parent, or from their peers? Right? So and look how I hit in these three topics, because teachers are indoctrinating these children. We know that for a fact. And now I see these parents that just want to get freaking applauded. Well, I have 3 transgender children and 1 whatever they call it, something sexual. I don't even know, because I don't follow along with all that stuff. But you guys know what I'm talking about. There are these parents out here that are pushing this ideology on children. And it's sad because gender dysphoria was in the DSM-5. Is in the DSM-5. And we're pushing this on, we're pushing a disorder on children. Like this is not okay. This is not okay at all. So, and listen, I have sympathy. I have compassion. Like I don't know what it's like to feel that I'm trapped in the wrong body. So I don't want to come off too aggressive on this, because I do have sympathy, man. And I pray for y'all. If anyone's going through this gender dysphoria, a true sense of gender dysphoria, I pray for you. I don't want that. I don't want you to live like that. I truly believe that God didn't make mistakes when he made you. And I truly believe that God made you perfect the way you are. So, and that's why I say it. It's sad that we're pushing gender dysphoria on children. In the DSM-5, gender dysphoria is classified in there. And the DSM-5 is the Diagnostic and Statistical Manual of Mental Disorders. And gender dysphoria is in the DSM-5. So here's the definition of gender dysphoria in the DSM-5. A strong desire to be rid of one's primary and or secondary sex characteristics because of marked incongruence with one's experience or expressed gender. And it's sad that we're pushing this on children. Why are we trying to force children to be something that they don't even know they are? For example, if my baby boy came up to me and was like, "Dad, I'm a girl," I'm going to say, "Well, what does that mean? Why do you think you're a girl?" And he's going to tell me something. And then hopefully if he says something like, "Oh, my friend told me that," I'm going to say, "Whatever friend told you that, we're just never going to talk to them ever again." Okay, whatever teacher told you that, I'm going to take you out of that school by today, and we're just never going to go back there again. Because you could form a child's mind so easily, right? And I'm not saying that because I know there's true cases of gender dysphoria out there, but the fact that we're trying to push gender dysphoria on children, to me, makes no sense, man. So I am glad that we have ended child mutilation. And I even get to medication, but I'll say this quick bit. We are giving kids, Lupron. Go look up Lupron. Type in Lupron chemical castrator. We use Lupron to chemically castrate sex offenders to this day. Right now, we are using this pill that they are giving children. It is also shown to do things in their bone density and and I just want you to look up the side effects of Lupron, and this is what they're giving. And they're saying, yes, it's reversible. No, it's not. No, it's not. It's not reversible. So again, I'm happy that Texas has put their foot down, and I'm glad to live in Texas. I'm glad I fled California. I'm glad I'm done with Cali, because I could stand for more of this in Texas, baby. Please keep Texas sane. Please. I left California for a reason. Do not bring that California to Texas. Please. Let's go to my number 4, man. School security guards. To ensure public safety, HB 3 requires armed personnel at every school campus. Thank the Lord. You know how much money we gave to Ukraine? We could have used that money we gave to Ukraine, and we could have hired every single qualified homeless veteran and put at least 2 to every public school. And we could have been fine. We could have gave them literally $500,000 a year for the amount of money we gave to Ukraine. So I'm glad Texas is making a stance for this, because we have a mental health crisis on our hands, guys. The pandemic, we don't understand the lasting effects of the lockdowns. There's always been mass murders, but these lockdowns, man, we have yet to see this mental health crisis, because what these lockdowns did, these kids will never get their lives back. They will never get that time missed back. And you know who it affected the most? The people that these same people claim to help, that they want to help the most. the minorities, low income earners. That's who it affected the most. So yeah, man, I'm super stoked to see how this is gonna work out. I don't know about the money issue thing, but I'm sure we could just put a Ukraine flag in Texas, and maybe Biden could ship some aid over here. Number 5, we put a ban on sexually explicit books. HB 900 requires booksellers and vendors to assign ratings to books with sexual content before selling them to school districts. Schools would have to get parental consent before a child can access sexually relevant material in the library, but sexually explicit books cannot be sold to schools. Listen, as I'm going through these things, man, how are people mad that we are banning books that are teaching a 3rd grader about sex? In a sane world, how are you mad that we are teaching that we are saying, no, you cannot tell a 2nd grader about sex? Why? What's the problem here? Let's move it on, man. Number 6. This is okay. This one might be one of my favorites. I don't know. This one might be your favorite. I don't know. We are banning COVID-19 mandates. SB 29 bans a state from enacting mask mandates, vaccine mandates, or business and school closures to prevent the spread of COVID-19. Let's go, Texas. Yeah, fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice. Or what is it? Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Y'all are not going to fool us again. I'll tell you that right now. It's funny because I remember during the pandemic, right before masks was a thing, Fauci literally went on TV and was like, no, everyone doesn't need to wear a mask. Masks don't work. And then a month later, he's like, we all need to wear masks. We all did it. Whatever his terrible voice is. And he literally was forcing people to wear masks that don't even work. So you know what, in Texas, everyone who try to force us to get the vaccine, everyone who try to force us to wear masks, that ain't gonna fly here in Texas. Another amazing reason why you should move to Texas, because we're not putting up with that anymore, man. No, I seriously, like, thinking back on it, it pains me to think that we got this close to communism here in the US. If you think about it, they were really trying to put the unvaccinated, aka me, in freaking camps. In camps. Remember when our president went on national television and he said, it's the unvaccinated fault. It's gonna be a dark winter for them. The unvaccinated. And it's like, you got 3 jabs and you're still getting COVID. And I think you got COVID like twice in a row. So I don't know how that, what this means. Actually, the vaccinated were causing most of this stir. So yeah, man. So I'm glad Texas is putting a ban to COVID-19 mandates. Let's go. Let's go, Texas. Come on. No mess with Texas. Number 7. This one is actually, okay. Golly, I say they're all my favorite. This is like, okay, this one affects me firsthand. Well, they all affect me, but this one affects me for real firsthand. And this is huge. This is huge for business opportunities. And you're going to see Texas boom like never before because of this. Number 7, speeding up housing developments. HB 14 allows third-party review of building application if cities and counties fail to issue building permits within 15 days. Are you kidding me? Okay, let me just put this into perspective. When I was flipping a house in South Central LA, when I first started my company, this was 2017 probably. It took, get this, it took 9 months to get 13 windows approved. 9 months, not an entire new building, not from the ground up, building something fresh, new construction. No, this was a remodel. I just bought new windows. I was replacing existing windows with a new model window. And I was in a historical zone. And it took 9 months. 13 windows. I could have built an entire damn complex in that time. So, hey, I'm telling you right now. And another thing, too, is it says studies show that longer regulatory processes for housing permits drive up home prices and rent. And that's true. Listen, if it takes forever to build, that means supply will never catch up with demand. And in the housing market already, we're already freaking years back. We're years away from where we need to be for housing. So this is gonna put a boom in Texas, and I hope that local authorities actually follow and abide by this, because this, I'm telling you, this right here may be the single biggest factor to make Texas the greatest state in the entire nation. I'm telling you right now. Number 8, we have temporary license plates. Oh, I like this one. Car dealerships will now keep metal license plates to give it to people who buy vehicles, eliminating the need for temporary paper plates. Because y'all know, when you're in a grocery store parking lot and you see those paper plates, be observant. Be very observant. I don't care what the car looks like. Be observant. So this may put a stop to crime, but you know, criminals are going to be smart. They're going to start making their own metal plates or doing whatever. So we'll see where this goes. And this one is fire. I know I said I was only going to do 8, but this one, I got to talk about this one. This is number 9, and I didn't put it in my top 8 because it's not official just yet. But let's get into this one, man. This is drag show for kids. Sexually oriented performances in front of minors will become criminal offense under SB 12. Senate Bill 12 aims to restrict certain drag shows and other performances from being shown in front of children. A federal judge temporarily blocked it from being enforced, saying it likely violates the First Amendment. Okay, there's a lot to unpack here, man. So I think they're trying to say that this bill is too broad. But how about this? How about no drag shows in front of kids? Can you agree for that? Can you agree that there shouldn't be dudes on a pole in a bikini and a G-string dancing in front of kids provocatively? Can we just agree to that? I mean, let's just put some common sense here. I'm not attacking drag people. Listen, if people want to dress, if a dude wants to dress up as a female and have boobs and do whatever he wants to do on a pole, and people will pay to watch that, that is capitalism. That is America. If there's an audience for that, hey, that's move my mic over. That is on you. But don't bring kids into this. And parents that take kids to these shows, I'm really questioning y'all. I'm really questioning y'all, man. So I can't wait to see what verbiage they use for this. But when this goes into effect, it's another great day for Texas, man. This has been a great. All these laws, man, this has been amazing. I'm just so happy to live in Texas. I'm so happy I'm not in communist California anymore. Listen, let's go over these things one more time, man. So we have number 1, Save the Women's Sports Act, which means no males could compete against females. We got number 2, progressive prosecutors, meaning DAs. If they're not doing their job, if they're not holding criminals accountable, they're going to get their ass off, booted. Number 3, the end of child mutilation. That's a big one, man. That is a huge one. Number 4, school security guards. I would love to see how that works. Like I said, again, we're just going to put a Ukraine flag up and hopefully Biden gives us some aid so we can make this work. Number 5, a ban on sexually explicit books. I don't see the problem with this. Like, how can you argue this? Number 6, banning COVID-19 mandates. Where's the problem? Y'all know if you get the vaccine, it doesn't stop anything. It doesn't prevent the spread. So, I mean, that's been the argument from the very beginning. Common sense. Number 7, speeding up housing developments. This is going to be huge. This is going to put Texas on the map. I said it here first. Mark my words. I said it here first. It's going down. Number 8, temporary license plates are met. Remember, keep your eyes out there for those temp plates. And number 9, sort of. We'll see when it gets into law. Drag shows for kids. Enough is enough. And like I said, if you want to go dance explicitly in front of people that are adults, that are of age, that sign up for this, hey, more power to you, baby, America. But do not involve the kids. And out of my top 9, man, I know people are going to say, well, this is a little controversial. How is it controversial? How is a man competing against a woman controversial? Like, that should not happen. That should not happen. How? If a DA, every American should want to have peaceful, safe streets. How? If a policeman or a policewoman, whatever, does their job and they put the criminal behind bars and the DA lets the criminal out and he commits more crimes, how is this controversial? Ending child mutilation. How is it? Go look up phalloplasty. Go look up double mastectomy, vaginoplasty. Go look up these words. Go look up images. Go look at them and look what you're fighting for. Google Lupron, chemical castration, chemical castrator Lupron. Google those things. Not controversial at all. Security guards in schools. The best way to stop a man with a gun, a bad guy with a gun, is a good guy with a gun. Facts, facts, facts. There's no way you're gonna stop guns in general. There's more guns than we have people in this country. More guns than we have people. Criminals don't follow laws in the first place. So you put a ban on guns, criminals are still gonna find a way to get guns. Number 5, ban on sexually explicit books. If you're saying this is controversial, you need to get slapped. And if you have kids, you need CPS. Number 6, banning COVID-19 mandates. No controversy about that. We already went through this. Speeding up housing developments. That's not controversial. Temporary license plates. That's not controversial. And drag show for kids. If you think this is controversial, if you think that a kid should be exposed to sexual activity, if you think a kid should be opening that box that young, I pray for you. That's it. I pray for you. But I hope you like this episode, man. This is another episode of the Ajee Montes Show. I'm going to get an intro. I'm going to do an outro. But from now on, we just going live, baby. We out, baby. Ajee, peace. Yeah.